Have you ever imagined how it is possible to go from being homeless to achieving billionaire success? This is the story of John Paul Dejoria, co-founder of one of the largest cosmetics companies in the United States and John Paul Mitchell Systems, as well as the renowned tequila brand Patrón, valued at billions of dollars. In today's video, John shares his incredible journey, showing how he went from being homeless to selling his company, which he started from scratch, for about $5.1 billion. Let's uncover what it takes to transform from a homeless person into a billionaire. John Paul Dejoria's story is deeply inspiring, and you will certainly find many valuable lessons in this video that could change your financial life from rags to riches in just a few months. So, watch until the end, because the revelations he made are truly impactful. So let's get started. In an interview, John was asked, "How did you become homeless?" And he replied, "My partner and I had the idea to start a hair care company, but we had no money. So we decided to split the profits between us and a potential investor. We were excited because someone showed interest. It seemed like the money was coming and our dreams would come true. The problem was that it had to be quick. We had no money, which is terrible. Have you ever felt like that? I don't know how your life is, but for me, things were extremely difficult. I had less than $100 in my pocket. I was in line at the petrol station, and I had almost no money. I needed that investment for everything to change. If the investor put the money in, everything would change for me and my partner. But it didn't take long for me to receive the news, perhaps the worst I could receive that day. The investor changed his mind. He simply backed out and said he didn't want to invest anymore. Our world collapsed. I was literally on the street, something I wouldn't wish on anyone. But you know what the advantage of being at rock bottom is? You can't go any lower because I was already at the bottom. What I needed now was to lift my head and find a solution to get out of that situation. When you are in a situation like I was, the first thing to do is ask yourself, how can I get out of this? Asking questions is crucial because a question opens doors while a statement closes them. When you say, I can't, you end any possibility of solving the problems. But by asking, what can I do to succeed? Your mind opens to countless possibilities. In my case, I remembered my mother. She lived in Los Angeles, but my pride was too big to tell her I was broke. Can I have my bed back? Is my room still available? Can I have some food? I was too proud to say that to her. So I went to her house and borrowed about $300. She asked what I needed the money for, and I said I was trying to start a business and would pay her back in about a month. She lent me the $300, and I just stayed in the car. My pride didn't allow me to tell her that everything had gone wrong. That's how we started. I learned to live with little, with $2.50 a day. I spent 99 cents on breakfast at popular places and 99 cents for lunch at diners. The people at those diners helped me, and after a few years, I went back there to offer valuable advice and the best tips they had ever received in their lives. I never forgot what they did for me, and I am immensely grateful. This is the advice I give to young people today. Be grateful and never forget those who helped you. Gratitude opens doors, while ingratitude closes them, and gratitude is the mother of all virtues. Are you enjoying the video? Then comment, I will be a millionaire, no matter my situation. Just comment that, and as soon as I see your comment, I'll give it a heart because I know you will be the first millionaire in your family. Now that you've commented, let's continue. After these beautiful words, John was asked, how does someone who is living in a car manage to keep their head up and get out of that situation? And he replied, when you are really down, you need to wake up the next day and think, just because I was down and things didn't go well for me yesterday doesn't mean I should continue like that today. That's yesterday's news, yesterday's day. Today I get up and write a new story. I have the opportunity to do everything differently. Don't be stuck on what happened yesterday. If you do, you will be anchored in the past. You can't change yesterday. So what I did was think about what would come next. What would be the next thing to do tomorrow? After that, who I should call, how to make another sale. And that was all I thought about. I would say the same thing to anyone who is down or homeless. You can't change the past, but you can change your future. You can change how your day will be tomorrow. What holds most people back is that they are stuck in the past. Something happened to them. They were fired, they got divorced. Someone said something that hurt them. Today people expose their lives on social media. They think it will be positive, but in fact, it only makes things worse. Unfortunately, that's how it is. Don't expose your life on social media because some people only want to see you fail. Instead, share your problems with someone who can really help you. Show your weaknesses only to those who have the remedy for your wounds. As I was saying, you end up stuck in the past. It stays in your mind before you go to sleep all the time. But now you need to realize that the power is gone. You can't change that. You have to focus on the future and forgive everyone who has wronged you. Forget all the jealousy and regrets, things you think you could have done differently. You can't change that. When those thoughts come to your mind, just forgive. Forgive yourself and everyone else. If someone hurt you, forgive them. All of that is in the past. If those thoughts come back, tell yourself it's in the past. You can't reach success carrying the weight of the past. Free yourself from it. After this beautiful response, another question was asked to John. How did you go from zero to billionaire? And he replied, after much struggle, we managed to open a small company. We had a secretary who earned very little. We were building a business and needed to reinvest everything in it. Everything we earned, we reinvested. I never changed my lifestyle. After a while, I managed to buy a flat, but I kept my lifestyle simple. I bought a car only a year and a half later. It is crucial when you are going through a difficult phase, starting a business, to have emotional and financial intelligence to overcome the challenges. Avoid living an expensive lifestyle. Buy wisely. Avoid getting into debt. Stay calm. Live within your means, and soon you will see that you will have the energy to overcome any obstacle. The next question was, how was it knocking on doors? And he replied that it was not an easy task. It was exhausting and painful, but he was a good salesman, and people received him well. People in the beauty industry are generally very friendly. Many of his clients became great friends. You need to do what has to be done, keep your head up, and focus on changing your tomorrow. The past cannot be altered, but the future can be shaped by your actions today. When asked what advice he would give to someone starting a business, he replied that he would start with some essential points. Develop a good product, offer the best. Understand that we made an excellent product, the best possible. Therefore, your product or service needs to be of high quality. The product must be effective, and those who use it need to know that it really works. Throughout our journey, we knew we had a good product, and that's what I would say to all entrepreneurs. The two most important things you need are a quality service and a quality product. It has to be so good that customers want to repeat the purchase. The second thing is to be prepared for a lot of rejection. If you are prepared for that, rejection will not affect you. When we talk about rejection, I remember the time when I sold encyclopedias. It was a tough task, there was a lot of rejection. Sometimes it can be discouraging. During sales training, they said something that helped me succeed. They said that many of you will not succeed, but those who will are the ones who can overcome rejection. Many doors will be slammed in your face, but at door 50 you need to be as motivated and enthusiastic as you were at door number 1. And I did that. I kept the same enthusiasm. By doing so, you learn more, find out how to do things better, how to say things differently, and get better and better. The enthusiasm never disappears. I went door to door and kept the motivation to pursue my dream. No rejection could take away my desire to achieve what I wanted. That is the mentality of a winner. Nothing and no one can stop you if you are focused on a dream. Whatever your goal is, a better life, an education, helping your parents, impacting people, overcome rejection, and success will be at the next door. Understand that when starting a business, you will face many difficulties, and one of them is making people believe in your business. But I'll tell you something that may seem contradictory. They don't need to believe in your business as long as you believe. When we started the beverage company, we faced a big challenge to convince people that it was worth buying our product. People thought the product was great, but when we mentioned the price, they laughed and said no one would pay that amount. But we believed we had an excellent product and that we could charge what it was worth. We believed in the company and made it work. Don't listen to negative criticism. Question all of that. What do you feel in your heart? What do you think can be done? And go ahead. Look at how many times Sylvester Stallone pitched Rocky and no one accepted it. He didn't give up. He kept trying and trying. And great companies like Google, Amazon, and Facebook were created by people who didn't give up, who kept going. No matter what the rejection is, keep your focus on the goal, ignore distractions, feel yourself moving towards your dreams, and free yourself from the baggage of the past. Now is the remarkable moment of the video. Pay attention. They asked John what it felt like to sell a company that started from scratch for $5 billion, and he replied, "Well, that was wonderful for me. One of the most important moments of my life. You are happy because you know you did a good job, that despite all the battles, we persisted and made the best decisions. The first thing I did was sign a check for $50 million to start the Peace, Love, and Happiness Foundation. Give, because you need to overflow into people's lives. I participate not only financially but also to change people's lives, make them better. I believe God created everything we have here and gave me this opportunity. I think part of my destiny was to give back along the way, find new experiences, and help others. Things were going so well for me, why not help others? I am very generous in this area, and that is amazing to me." The next question was, "What advice would you give to someone who wants to be rich?" And he replied, "What does it mean to be rich? One day my son came home from school and asked me, 'Dad, are we rich? What does it mean to be rich?' He was in kindergarten. I explained to him, 'Son, some people think being rich means having a lot of money, but you can have a lot of money. But having poor health and not being happy, that is not being rich. Are we happy as a family?' And he answered me, 'Yes.' 'Are we healthy?' And he also answered me, 'Yes.' 'Well, then we are rich.' And that's how I told my son how rich we are. But truly rich is the one who is happy and healthy. If you and your family are happy and healthy, then you are as rich as I am. People need to understand that being rich and successful doesn't just mean being a millionaire or billionaire. Success is how far you've come in everything you do. When I was in school, I also had a job as a janitor. I cleaned the school and earned $1 an hour, and I was promoted to earn $1.50 per hour. For me, that was already a great success, and I was promoted for doing more and better when no one was looking. Success is doing well what you do, especially when no one is looking. When we talk about success and being successful, you need to ask yourself some questions. Do you wake up half an hour earlier to chase your dreams? Do you go to bed watching TV in the last 2 hours of the day? Get rid of distractions before bed. Prepare your mind for rest. The TV doesn't need to be on an hour before bed. How about reading a book about success a little before bed? How about reading a book about the area you want to develop? People want to have better results, better days, a better family, a better spouse, a better bank account. But they don't want to do what is necessary to succeed. Just do what most people don't want to do. And it's not something that complicated, for example, to stand out. Just do the simple. Most people don't do the minimum. If you start doing at least the minimum, you will already be ahead of 99% of people. People don't want to have commitment, provide good service, offer a good product, knock on a few more doors, and face rejections. The next question they asked John was, "Do you regret anything you did in life?" And he replied, "I have 0 regrets. There are many things in life that I would have done differently. We all would have done things in different ways, but you can't change yesterday. That's something you need to take off your shoulder. You can't change the past, so you need to get up and live a new day." I didn't know that when I started the business because I was very focused on how I'm going to eat, how much money I'm going to get to pay the bills. Later, I learned that you need to set these worries aside. You move forward without carrying thoughts from the past. We wouldn't be who we are today if it weren't for the past. Do you want to be someone different? You can't change the past, but you can change your future. We had a saying in the 60s, "Today is the first day of the rest of your life." What changes would you make? What would you change by starting, or even today? What books, resources, or people did you turn to? I would like to have a mentor, and I got one. My mother was the closest person to a mentor I had at the time, always encouraging us. When I sold encyclopedias door to door, it was the best training of my life. A book that I consider one of the best of all time is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Read it, I'm sure you will like it. Over time, I also learned how wonderful kindness is. I have always been kind, but I became even kinder. Kindness is wonderful. You feel good, and the people around you feel good. When you talk to someone, speak kindly. When you help someone, do it out of kindness. This is the message I would like to leave for everyone who aspires to a different life. Keep your dreams alive. Do your best. Never give up. Be kind, help people, and be happy. This interview has come to an end. If you stayed until the end, leave a comment saying, "I write a new story of my life from today." Just comment on this, and when I see your comment, I will know that you were resilient and stayed until the end. Now, 2 videos are appearing on your screen where I talk about how to build wealth from scratch. Click on one of them and watch it now. See you there.